I swear though, if they made out, had fun times, and then he left in the morning and she wakes up to an empty room, I'm gonna be so upset at him. A faint breeze grazed my cheeks, and I was slow to open my eyes. Oh, good. Don't scare me like that. I was so worried.
Oh, sorry. Did I wake you?
Soma was resting his head against the windowsill, standing with shirt still left unbuttoned. Man, all the pictures in this one. After so many videos of like the same CG with alternate outfits, we're getting like all the CGs now. What were you looking at?
The North Star.
You can see it from here?
It's right there. The brightest object in the sky.
I lifted the sheets off of myself and gazed toward the area in which Soma had been pointing. I saw it. The North Star. The other stars paled in relation to its luminous glow, and it was fixed in place. For the entirety of his life, Soma had been obsessed with the North Star, attaching to it a personal symbolism. Until he finally found it. How many days of anguish was Soma forced to suffer in search of it? How much growth had he undergone discovering his true purpose? Only I could answer that, aside from him. Hey, Soma? In the same way that you'll never forget about the Shinsengumi, whenever I see the North Star, I will think of you. For me, my North Star was Soma. No matter how much time passed between now and beyond, I could never forget our night together and how the North Star glistened in his loving eyes. Aw, he looks so sweet. I'm getting so sad. I'm like, what if the good ending is him dying after all? Oh no, I'm not ready. Oh, we can get through this.
Chizuru.
His voice quivered melancholically.
It's weird to think that I might die tomorrow. But after tonight, I think I could go peacefully.
I leaned my head against his heartbeat, watching the dazzling patchwork of stars shine above us. It's gonna go into the credits now, isn't it? I know it is. Oh, it didn't. Oh, no. The next morning...
Well, time for us to be off then. Welcome to a different battlefield known as the negotiation table, where weapons are forbidden.
From here, all we can do is pray that their sentence is kind and just, unlike how things were at the end of the Battle of Tobafushimi. Soma, have you taken care of your remaining affairs, including saying goodbye to Yukimura? If you have any unfinished business, I suggest taking care of it now.
Oh, okay.
Soma sauntered toward me awkwardly, but we'd already made our peace with one another, and so we simply looked into each other's eyes, waiting for the other to say something. Eventually...
Suppose this is it then. Take care, Chizuru.
In the time since we first met, he'd grown so much. His doubts were replaced by a steely conviction, and I felt confident in his ability to negotiate. But I had to say my piece. I'll wait for you, even if it takes forever. I couldn't hold back my emotions. No one else could take his place, and I saw no future that didn't have him at my side. Soma, fraught with equal parts love and sorrow, bit his lip.
Yes, sooner rather than later, hopefully. Keep my spot warm for me. All right then, time for us to be off. Chief of the Shinsengumi.
Upon Enomoto's heed, Soma bowed and walked off. The three of them shrunk into the distance. I burned the image in my eyes. Kondo, Hijikata, Okita, Saito, Heisuke, Harada, and Nagakura, Sanan, Yamazaki, Inoue, Shimada, Nomura. Their legacy now rested with Soma, whom I was sure would make them proud in the afterlife. Kazue Soma, the last chief of the Shinsengumi. Oh, now the credits, right? Yep. Oh, no. I haven't been this worried about an after-credits scene in a long time. I don't remember if they even mentioned what happened to him in the other routes, really. If they did, and I should have paid attention, I wouldn't be in such a kerfluffle. But I am. I can't believe I'm just crying. I mean, there's two ways this can go down, in my mind. Basically, either he's got a minimal sentence, and many years later they are able to reunite, and that's what the epilogue's going to be. Or he was executed. But their one night together resulted in Chizuru having a baby. A child from that. And so she can still remember him through that. That's the only way I can see this going. And I don't know how I feel about either of those. I mean, I'd love for him to come back in a few years. If that's a good ending, though, I don't know how I would handle the bad endings. Oh, man. Oh, I'm so impressed, though, with how much growth happened in this. It was so slow going for them to actually get to the relationship. And once they finally hit it, I think he might have actually given Toshi a run for his money for, like, slow burn. Good grief, man. But once it got going, it was so sweet. It's so heartbreaking. Oh, man. He did it again. And Kyoto Winds, like, most of his route, I was like, this is alright. And then he just shocked me at the end. And then in this one, too, this is alright. And then at the end, just like, okay, my heart's in 1,000 pieces, thanks. Oh boy, here we go. I'm not ready. Oh, I'm scared. I'm so scared. I need some hands to hold. Alright. After Soma had surrendered to the Empire of Japan as chief of the Shinsengumi, he was later sentenced to transfer over to Hachijojima, a secluded island reserved for prisoners or political traitors. I, on the other hand, had returned to Edo, studying under Dr. Matsumoto to expand my knowledge of medicine as I awaited his release. Well, good job, girl, keeping yourself busy like that. I often wondered how he spent each passing day. Or if the state of the world had depressed him enough that he had given up on life altogether. Our lack of correspondence only worsened my anxiety, and I would frequently lie awake at night, replaying the memory of our last night together. 3 years later, 1872. I hustled through Uraga Bay, navigating through the busy crowds to catch sight of the steamboat. I thinned my eyes and caught sight of a black vessel. Was that him? As it reached the harbor, I watched passengers on board one by one in suspense. The swaths of people crashed like the waves 10 feet from where the boat had anchored. Where was he? Where was my beloved Soma? I was afraid he wouldn't recognize me and would leave disheartened having thought he missed me. Just then...
You there? Is that you, Chizuru?
A familiar voice called out to me. Oh, I'm so glad. 3 years isn't too bad. Man, I thought it was going to be like 15 years later. It was unmistakable. No one else could raise goosebumps on my arms like he did. His sweet, dignified voice tugged at my heartstrings. Soma! I spun around, and when we locked eyes, I was overcome with emotion, having thought the moment would never come. Yay! Oh, I am so relieved. My heart leapt from my chest like a bird freed from its cage, and I put my hands to his face. Soma, is it really you? I had to feel the contours of his cheek to be sure.
Yes. Sorry for asking you to wait so long. Hope you kept that spot warm for me.
His demeanor was surprisingly demure, as if years at Hachidojima had eased his anxious heart. He was far more masculine, chiseled both physically and emotionally from years in prison. Yay? Ah. Have you gotten taller?
How would I know? You'd have to tell me.
His cheeks blushed beside his soft grin, and he coolly ran his fingers through my strands of hair.
I've dreamt about this moment so many times, but my dreams don't compare to seeing you now.
Yeah. We had so much to catch up on. But that could wait, and Soma wrapped me in his arms. I rested my head against his chest, taking in his scent without saying a word. Maybe, just maybe, Soma had missed me too. I think he did.
Chizuru, you have no idea how much it means to know that you've waited all this time for me. You've done enough waiting for one lifetime. I'm never letting you out of my sight again.
Okay. My North Star was here, shining brightly, guiding us into our future. After years of fighting, we could finally rest and discover the true reaches of our love. I sank into his chest, feeling his heartbeat patter against my face, hoping never to miss it again. Thank goodness. I'm so relieved. I cannot tell you how worried I was. Oh, what's my achievement for this? Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. Oh, yay! Oh, my heart. I'm in a bit of a state. I'm gonna have to figure out where this boy lands on my list. It was great. It was really great. Despite all the people dying, oh my goodness. That was rough. I'm just glad he didn't die. They got back together after 3 years. The epilogue was like really short compared to what I was expecting, but at least I was happy. Thank goodness for that. I will accept. But yeah, that was great. I was so shocked about Miki. I'm kind of disappointed with how they handled Miki. I felt really bad for him, and I was hoping, I don't know, there'd be more resolution as far as Miki was concerned. I'd argue that Kazuma had more resolution than Miki, and he only showed up once. And Dad was kind of just thrown aside. The whole Fury subplot wasn't really a thing, but I guess it makes sense. Actually, that's a good point. We never really talked about the whole, Thanos snapped into dust thing. Someone could have just turned into dust anytime while he was in prison. How did he keep that under control for 3 years in prison? There's some stuff with that, so I gotta take that into account when I finally figure out where he is on my list, but I'll wait until I've done the other endings, I think. But I really enjoyed that a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Thank you very much for joining me on this. And yeah, we'll head into the unrequited love ending next, so hopefully I'll see you over there, guys. Until next time, I will see you later.